Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming, spend some time with us, both with the NV200 and the Versa Note here behind me. I'm just going to give you a high-level overview, a couple of charts, and then turn it over to the product guys to share with you the details of the car. But some of you, I know, were in New York in 2012 with the New York Auto Show, and we said, we kind of proclaimed we're going to launch 5 all-new products, high-volume products, over the course of the next 18 months. And so we've delivered on that, and as you can see by some of the sales numbers here, we're having success. Of course, the Ultima launched last summer, and then November timeframe we had the launch of the Pathfinder and the Sentra, kind of right on top of each other. But 520,000 units in sales calendar year to date through May. It's up about 7.2%. That's NNA, so it includes Infiniti. When you peel out Infiniti, the Nissan brand is at 447, up about 8%. And you can see in April and May, we've had great success. Look at the individual models here. Pathfinder was up almost 300% in May, and it's doubled its volume calendar year to date. Continue to have excellent success there. Ultima up 40% in May. Sentra up 64%. Rogue, which is the 5th of those 5 models, which we replace later this year, was up 45%, and it's drafting, frankly, on a lot of the traffic from Ultima. There's a lot of cross-shopping between those segments, and so it's benefiting a little bit from new customers that are coming in on Ultima. Leaf up 300%, was about 2,000 units, just over 2,000 units in May. And a couple of tidbits here on Leaf. We've sold about 25,000 units. We just crossed that threshold last month in the United States. On a global basis, we've sold a little over 60,000 units. In the domestic market, Japan, they're on pace with us at roughly 25,000 units. In Europe, about 10,000. Of course, we localized the production to Smyrna. We built a battery plant, so the batteries were being built right next door to the production facility. We did some repricing and added an S trim last year. A lot of the growth that we're seeing now is fueled by a higher mix, frankly, of the S trim. It's a great value proposition. And we're starting to see a lot of markets come alive. A lot of the volume in the first 2 years was sourced on the west side of the country, as you would expect. Atlanta, Chicago, some other markets that are dealing with the infrastructure are really starting to pop. So we're excited and optimistic in terms of our sales volume for Leaf. The NV200 that you'll get a chance to drive today, we are considering the development of a pure 100% electric version of that vehicle for commercial use. And again, the taxi program was mentioned, but we do also, with New York City, have Leafs in service right now, and so the city and the taxi companies are testing the Leaf right now as we speak. When you get right down to today's hot topic, the Versa Note, we've been dominant for the last 4 years. When you combine the Versa hatch and sedan volume, we've been #1 in the segment. The 2012 predecessor of the Versa Note was out of production in December. So we sold down most of our inventory in January, February, March. In May, we had frankly today virtually no inventory of the previous model, so we're anxious to restock the shelves. We have about 1,500, maybe 2,000 units that have hit dealer inventory in the last couple of weeks, in the last week, I would say. And we just invoiced the vehicles at the tail end of last week, so I think we've sold 50 vehicles or something at this point. But when you consider just in the month of May, with virtually no hatch volume in dealer inventory, we still held over a 20% share on the heels of the strength of the Versa sedan. So we expect that we will continue to obviously hold the #1 position and be dominant, maybe even grow our share once we start to restock the shelves here with the Versa Note. And you can see we anticipate 28% growth over the course of the next 4 years in this segment. Importantly, we're building a new production facility in Mexico, which will build Versas, both sedan, the hatch, and Sentras. So we'll have upside volume down the road when that plant opens up, which is later this year. So with that, we'll get right into the product details, and I'll turn it over to John Crow.
Thank you, Joe. I hope my voice can make it today. I'm John Crow from Product Planning. I'll be taking you through the details of the product here this morning. With me from the product planning side is Eric Vaughn, both my right and left-hand man, I think, on this product. So as we go through the day, talking to us, asking us questions with the car, If I don't know it, absolutely Eric does know it. He knows this product far, far better than I do. So, the concept statement that we created for this vehicle, very simply, a stylish, roomy, fuel-efficient hatchback. That's what we have here for you today, and actually, all those areas, the stylishness, the roominess, the fuel efficiency, I'll be talking to those more in detail. So the content of my presentation here today is stylish, fuel efficiency, and roominess, including smart features and technology. So I'll be going through each one of these areas in detail. Energetic design, that's what our designers came up with as a design theme or design phrase when they started to model this vehicle. And when you look at the vehicle, I think that you see that it is an energetic design. How they achieve that is, they increase the windshield rake quite a bit to give it more of a flowing design. Versus the previous product, the previous Versa hatchback, this vehicle is about 6 inches shorter overall than the previous vehicle. We even put a design element on the roof, a big groove roof, to help the airflow, but also just to give it a little bit more design up there. It does have a very low coefficient of drag, 0.298, and I'll be going through the details of that as well. When the designers started to talk to us about the car and showing us the models and the sketches, they started to talk to us about this squash line, squash character line, and honestly, at first we really didn't understand what they were talking about. And then they explained it to us more, and it was like, now we understand. Squash, it's a game with the ball and racket. I've never played it. I don't know really how many people play it, but the idea is to hit a ball against the wall with a racket, and the travel of the ball as it moves through its trajectory. They took that idea and the energy from the game of squash, and they built that into the character line of the car, so you can very plainly see that inside of the car. Fluidic shape was also one of their goals for the vehicle. Again, the steeply raked windshield to achieve that. It adds in aerodynamics and also gives the car its overall energetic and fluidic design. Going more into the aerodynamics of the car, of course, we have great fuel efficiency on this vehicle. Aerodynamics don't happen by accident. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of work in the wind tunnel with engineering, and it actually costs quite a bit of money to really get good aerodynamics and good fuel efficiency. Some of the things we did: active grille shutter. This is the first Nissan application of an active grille shutter. That's standard on all CVT equipped vehicles. We have a lot of wind deflectors and shields on the underside of the car, around the tires, the fuel tank, to have the airflow go under the car smoothly and cleanly, again to improve aerodynamics. Low rolling resistance tires. It's a special tire compound that uses less energy as it rolls, lower rolling friction, if you will. We have a cute little demonstration over here of the Pinewood Derby cars that one is equipped with low rolling resistance tires and the other one isn't, just to demonstrate that as you're rolling down the road, our tires use less energy than a normal tire. Another design element that our designers and engineers incorporated in the vehicle is they put little tiny slits on the sides of the rear tail lights. And what that does is it directs the airflow more cleanly around the back of the vehicle, so you don't have that dirty swirl around the back of the vehicle. And again, it optimizes the airflow to improve aerodynamics. Fuel efficiency. Of course, this is an entry-level vehicle. Low price point is a very important item on this car. We'll go through the pricing later. But of course, cost of ownership is also very, very important for our customers. Oh. Hang on. Why am I not working? 40 miles per gallon is our highway figure for the CVT. That's class leading. There's a couple other vehicles get 40 miles per gallon, but nobody gets 31 miles per gallon in the city and 35 combined. So we're best in class for city and combined, and we're right up there with the top level of anybody in the segment for highway. Again, our idea is to keep this car affordable, and that's not just the purchase price, it's actually the operating price as well. So just to give you an overview of the combined mileage that's available today in the segment, the Sonic is the lowest combined mileage at 28 miles per gallon. The Fiesta is the top in the segment at 33, and we're at 35. Now, how we achieved that was through a lot of hard engineering. Little pie chart there of the breakdown of how we improve the fuel efficiency versus the last vehicle. I'll go through that more in detail in a little bit. One of the items that we did is this is a new engine for this product versus the last one. It's a 1.6 liter engine, 109 horsepower, 107 pound-feet of torque. One of the cool items on this engine is it has dual fuel injectors. So that's 2 fuel injectors for each cylinder. Why we did that is so that we could have the nozzles on the fuel injectors be really, really small. They are 57% smaller fuel droplets that come out of the fuel injectors than our previous design. And so what that does is you have very, very fine droplets, which aids in more efficient and cleaner combustion. So better combustion, better efficiency, better fuel economy. We also have our variable timing control system on both the intake and exhaust ports on the engine. This is a port-injected engine. It's not a direct-injected engine. Second generation CVT. This is our FK CVT. Same CVT we use on the sedan. Same CVT we use on the Sentra. But it is our second generation of this size CVT. Of course, Nissan is the world leader in CVT technology, and the CVT takes that technology to the next level. 7.3 to 1 gear ratio is the widest span of gear ratios anywhere. And how we achieve that is through the addition of a subplanetary gearbox. So we have a subplanetary gear set in this transmission that takes care of the very low end of the CVT range. And then as you accelerate at a certain point, the subplanetary gear set locks out, and then the CVT takes over and takes you to the very high end of the range. Smart alternator. A lot of you that attended the Ultima launch and then the Sentra launch, we have very smart alternator technology in this car as well. And that alternator knows what you're doing, knows how you're driving, and it will not pull energy away from the engine to charge the battery. If you're going uphill or accelerating hard, it will wait and it will draw from the engine to charge the battery when you're going downhill and so forth. Again, to improve fuel economy. Aerodynamics, I went through the aerodynamics already. Again, active grille shutter, first Nissan application of the active grille shutter. V-platform, this is a new platform for this vehicle. It is the shared platform with the Versa sedan, but compared to the last Versa hatchback, this car weighs 300 pounds less than the last car. So that's a remarkable amount of mass reduction versus the previous vehicle. So that pie chart that I showed you earlier, this is sort of a breakdown of the pie chart of how we improve the fuel economy versus the previous vehicle. So 2% combustion chamber improvement, that's the dual injectors and some other changes we made with the engine. 9%, that's the wider gear ratio application at 7.3 to 1. 1% on the aerodynamics, and then 5% through the 300-pound weight savings and the low resistance tires. A little bit more about the CVT. The CVT is smaller, it's lighter, it's more efficient, than our previous CVT. So 30% less friction, running friction in this CVT. Me personally, as an engineer, I mean, if my boss came to me and said, redesign the CVT and take 30% of the friction out of it, I would think that that would be a very difficult challenge. But they certainly did that. They also made it more compact and lighter by making the pulleys smaller, the torque converter smaller. Everything about this CVT is smaller, lighter, and more efficient. You can see here just again a summary: 30% less friction, 13% less weight, 10% less size. The chart on the right there, it shows you know, the bands available for the ratios. You can see that the lows are lower and the highs are higher. Again, that weight reduction, a little bit more about where that came from. 53 pounds came out of the powertrain. 205 pounds came out of the actual structure of the vehicle when we changed to the V platform. 44 pounds just sort of general componentry. The exhaust system and other components of the vehicle were optimized for weight to give us a total of you know, a pretty good sized football player that we fired and took out of the car. So this car is not just about efficiency and aerodynamics. We also like to have people in the car, and people like creature comforts. And so we didn't skimp on that either. So this vehicle has available push-button start with intelligent key, available heated cloth seats, available rear view monitor, also available around view monitor, I'll talk more about in a minute, and our available tire pressure monitoring system with the smart tire inflator that we have on some of our other products. Cargo friendly, this is a hatchback. We have a lot of room. In fact, we have a class leading cargo room in this vehicle. Class above technology, you know, we took a lot of the technology that we launched previously on the Ultima and Sentra, and we made that available for this car as well. You know, very convenient features, very comfortable features, and of course, bottom line, we got to keep it affordable. Julie's going to go through the pricing of the car in detail later on. And I think you guys are going to be really surprised at what we're able to do. Just a beauty shot of the interior here. You can see, you know, everything's where it's supposed to be. Cup holders. We have a really nice steering wheel design that we actually borrowed from the Sentra. We have two glove boxes on this car for extra storage. A little bit more about the vehicle size. We kept the wheelbase the same as the previous generation car. So the rear seat roominess that the last vehicle had, this vehicle has the same rear seat roominess. You can see that it's better than anybody else in the class. We did shorten up the car, as I mentioned, by about 6 inches through the front and rear overhangs. The overall exterior height of the vehicle is the same as the last vehicle, but again, the proportions are better. And that's really what our designers were going after, is better proportions, a more exciting dynamic design. Big interior roominess, talked a lot about that. We lead in several areas of roominess, several dimensions of roominess in the segment. You can see the Versa note there on the left. Cargo space, 21.4 cubic feet of cargo space, best in class. Passenger, 94.1 cubic feet, not inches. Rear legroom, 38.3 class leading. Front headroom, 40.8. So those are all class leading areas for this car. A little graphic here for the rear seat legroom. Again, I encourage all of you guys, when you are in the cars today, get in the back seat. You'll be really, really pleasantly surprised at how much room there is in the back of this car. You can see we're way above the competition in this area. We also realize that when you have backseat passengers, they like to be comfortable, they like to be able to put things away. So we have both driver and passenger side seat back pockets, fold down rear armrests with cup holders. So, you know, people who are back there, they can be comfortable, have a drink, and